Hello and welcome to my channel, She's Just Trying. Today we're going to be covering Am I the Butthole? So as you've seen over the past week, the channel has been very dry. There have been no new videos. There were some technical difficulties on my end, but we're back and ready to go. So I also have another video in the works. It's going to be a very good and very current video, so it'll be out soon, but it's going to take a while because I'm a one-person crew. I read, edit, and do everything by myself, so eventually I'll get more people to help me out, but since we're a small channel, I can't do that yet. So please like and subscribe and watch all the videos so it can help me out. So to stop me from rambling, let's get right into the video. Am I the butthole for feeding my interview? By u/deep is God of relief. Okay Reddit, here's the deal. On mobile, etc. Today I went to a job interview at a childcare facility. I had done a phone interview back in March for the summer, and I knew that I would have to bring my baby with me to the person interview. When I got a call yesterday to come in, I verified that they had a room at the center for my now 7-month-old and that I could bring him to the interview with me. I arrived 10 minutes early, my usual early is better than late, and was handed a paper application and questionnaire to fill out. After filling out the form, I was called back to the director's office, just as my son was fussing about his lunch. I asked the director if there was something I could set his car seat on while I fed him. She looked at me funny and asked me if I could wait until after the interview to feed him. I smiled and said, "Well, he's hungry now, and I'd like to go ahead and take care of that." She told me there wasn't anything to put him on, and she had no food for him. I clarified that I had brought his food, he just needed to be fed. She replied that he needed to wait until we were done. I laughed a bit and invited her to explain to my infant son that he needed to wait, saying he may listen to her, but I doubt it since he's a baby, and when babies are hungry, you feed them. She said she would interview the other candidates first to allow me time to feed the baby. I sat on the floor out of the way in the lobby as they had no tables to put the car seat on and feed him, changed him in the back of my car and came in. I was almost immediately called back by the director. I thanked her for being flexible with the interview order so I could feed my son and that I could get him fed and changed. She immediately told me that in 20 years she had only done this twice and told me that she didn't think I would be a good fit for the position. So Reddit, am I the butthole for feeding my baby? I think that this comment says it best by u/chickens1. You're the butthole. I've never hired anyone that brought their kid to an interview. I read that as this person doesn't have a reliable childcare, so how often will there be a problem with their work schedule? So yeah, I have been to one or two interviews for work, and I have siblings, and you don't just bring a child with you. It just makes no sense. You're there for an interview, especially a childcare thing. If you can't find a person to take care of your child, so that you can come for a 20-minute interview, how are you gonna come into work? So yeah, on to the next post. Am I the butthole for bringing my garden with me when I moved? By u/gardening monster. I, female, 25, have been renting a house since I was 18 years old, so 7 years. When I moved in, the backyard was a piece of dirt, no lawn or anything, just a decently big backyard with a fence all around. It was a cheap but not great house, but I signed because I wanted the backyard space. Over the past few years, I erected a small garden shed, greenhouse, and pizza oven, transportables, planted a lot of veggies in the garden in big transportable garden beds, and put down some nice paver, an aquaponics setup, and generally made the backyard a really green and beautiful place to be. It became the green oasis all my friends gathered at. A few months ago, my landlord let me know that they were planning to sell, and my final move-out day was a week ago. When I left, I brought my garden with me to my new place. Nothing in my last backyard was directly planted into the ground, and nothing was permanent. I dismantled the sheds and greenhouse, loaded up the pots and the garden beds into the truck, and cleared the backyard in 3 days with a lot of help. My former landlords are furious over this, and I demand that I return the backyard to the former state. Apparently, they listed the house for sale with pictures of the backyard, and potential buyers were walking away from the house when they saw the barren backyard. They're accusing me of stealing their plants and wrecking their back garden. Legally, I'm fine. My contract says I could garden, and I have photos from the first real estate walkthrough before I moved in that show that the backyard was the same state as I first found it, although with more fertile soil now probably. The same real estate agent signed off my final inspection, and I got my deposit back. I've received mixed responses though, because I saw the landlords taking pictures of my back garden before I left, but didn't make the connection because, in my opinion, when pictures of a house has furniture in it, you don't exactly get to keep the furniture. Some of my coworkers suggested that I am the butthole because the house valuation clearly has fallen dramatically because I didn't tell them I was taking my garden with me, so they couldn't plan to landscape before the lockdown hit. Too long didn't read. Am I the butthole for moving my garden that I built from my former rental house into a new house, upsetting my former landlords who didn't expect me to take it with me? So, in my opinion, you're not that butthole, and that's what Reddit said as well, because it's your stuff, first of all. You found the garden the way you left it, you took your stuff along. The landlord should have asked you before if you're going to be taking all your stuff with you, and then it's their problem. Like, they're the one that rented out the thing, they didn't give you the plants, and like the garden was in shambles in the first place. So it's the same as furniture. You're not going to go to a new house unless it says fully furnished. Like, if it has furniture in it, that's just what it is in the pictures. It doesn't mean it's going to come with the furniture. So that's the end of this video. So, like I said at the beginning of the video, there will be a new video coming out. It's going to be very different to the normal Reddit readings. It's going to be on topical things, but you'll have to wait for it to come out. It's going to take a little bit of time because, as I said, I'm a one-person team. And yeah, so look forward to that. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. If you want future updates and future videos like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I'm Hearts, stay safe, and bye!